Nissan just warned investors it will lose around $5.3 billion this year, its biggest loss in 90 years, ever. Fitch has already shoved the company deeper into junk status. It's now considered junk status by every major ratings agency across the planet, and merger talks with Honda have completely collapsed. Could Nissan become the first major Japanese automaker to go bankrupt in the modern era? Well, let's break it down. On April the 24th, Nissan revised its forecast from a manageable 80 billion net loss, that's 80 billion yen, by the way, to a staggering 750 billion. In other words, they're planning on losing 7 times more than what they told investors. 7 times more. I have frequently warned investors to get away from Nissan. I've said Nissan are not telling you the truth. This company has some major structural flaws and people haven't been listening. The red ink comes largely from a 500 billion yen impairment charge on plants and equipment across North America, Europe, Latin America, and Japan, plus another 60 billion yen for ongoing restructuring. Just, you know. Here's the thing. Those impairments don't just reduce profits. They wipe billions off Nissan's balance sheet, pushing the company closer to negative equity, the point where liabilities exceed assets. That's bankruptcy territory in Japan, and it's not far away. A Nissan executive recently said it could actually happen. A $60 billion merger with Honda could have created scale, but talks blew up in February when Honda insisted Nissan become a subsidiary without a partner. Nissan admits it will struggle to survive alone. Honda essentially said, we don't want your basket case of a company unless we're fully in charge. And Honda basically said, Nissan, we don't want your basket case of a company unless we're fully in charge. And Nissan said, no, we don't want that. US sales, though, have plunged 26% in a decade. Infinity down 45%, while Chinese competition guts margins at home. Dealers say their profitability is the worst in 15 years. While rivals are flooding the market with profitable hybrids, Nissan bet big on pure EVs early and then underinvested after Carlos Ghosn was chased out of Japan. The Nissan Leaf, it's getting old. Nissan Ariya volumes are minuscule, as in it's barely selling, and the company still has no dedicated global skateboard platform. Catch-up requires tens of billions of dollars, and that's money that Nissan just doesn't have. Fitch's latest downgrade pushes Nissan bonds deeper into junk territory, to the point where it's going to have to raise money, but those borrowing costs are extremely high. The company already carries over $7 billion in net automotive debt and has cancelled its dividend to desperately try to conserve cash. They're also doing wild things like basically saying that they'll give a 10-year warranty to anyone with an old Nissan as long as they come into Nissan dealerships and get their car serviced at dealerships immediately. So, is bankruptcy actually plausible? Well, it is. Here's why. Number one, record losses erode equity faster than restructuring can save it. Limited access to cheap capital after junk downgrades by every major ratings agency in the world. No strategic partner willing to inject cash or share platforms. Heavy capex needed for next-gen EVs, software, and batteries. I mean, they don't have the money to spend on the capex needed. Macroeconomic headwinds, higher interest rates are going to be a killer. And basically, also, we've got to factor in the problems they're facing in America and China. US tariffs are a huge issue. A stronger yen is squeezing export profits as well. Put these things together, and the probability of insolvency over the next 12 to 24 months is very real, especially if another external shock hits global demand. Now, artificial intelligence is saying it has a very high probability of between 60 to 80% over the next few years. Nissan, well, here's what they're doing. They're scrambling for lifelines. Foxconn says it would rather partner than buy Nissan. Nissan doesn't want that. Renault remains lukewarm, and private equity money is circling distressed assets. A government brokered bailout similar to Mitsubishi's 2016 rescue can't be ruled out. It's very possible, but Tokyo would face political backlash for propping up a firm already linked to a French ally. And remember, Japan has more debt than any country in the history of mankind, substantially more. So, if you own a Nissan today, don't panic. Warranties are legally protected in most markets. I hope so anyway. But future resale values will tumble if the brand enters court-led rehabilitation or essentially bankruptcy. For investors, the lesson here is very clear. Legacy automakers that hesitate on technology and partnerships can go from profitable to precarious to bankruptcy in only a few years. So guys, do you think that Nissan can pull off yet another rescue, or is bankruptcy actually inevitable? Drop your thoughts below. Now, I should also mention, guys, that if cash burn at Nissan continues at its current rate and refinancing costs spike, which they will as a result of these debt downgradings, Nissan has two basic out clauses. One, the government-backed rescue that I mentioned before. Japan has done this before with airlines and Takata. A court-supervised restructuring, Japanese civil rehabilitation, or US Chapter 11 bankruptcy for North American operations. Either path wipes out equity and forces deeper cuts. And this could lead to potentially a Chinese conglomerate purchasing the brand. Suppliers, 130,000 global employees, and millions of owners will feel the shockwaves. Foxconn, though, they might jump in to try and save them. I don't know. It's possible. But remember, cash piles shrink fast. And when you're losing $5 billion a year and your car sales continue to shrink, as Nissans are right now, there's no real way to make enough money to invest in the future. So guys, if you strip away the accounting jargon and what you're left is with this, Nissan's balance sheet is bleeding. Its product lineup is aging and its credit lifeline, it's fraying unless management executes a miracle or another automaker steps in. The probability of bankruptcy is pretty high, as I said before. So guys, what do you think? How do you see this playing out for Nissan? Do you see something I haven't mentioned here that could potentially be a Hail Mary for the company? Let me know your thoughts and remember to subscribe. And actually, if you can like the video, that would be awesome as well. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. The new Nissan Micra electric car, it's going to be quite a bit bigger than the previous Nissan Micra. It's actually a really nice looking car. I am a fan of it. So how much does it cost? What's the range? And when is it actually available? Well, let's get into those details.